All right, welcome back, my gamer IT friends. Let's be honest, we all have habits that we want to change. And I'm guessing I've had a lot of the same habits that you've had. I'm guessing that you have habits such as overeating, not exercising, and watching things too much or things that you don't want to watch. Because I've also had these same bad habits, and sometimes you struggle with them for a very long time before you actually start to understand, how do I transcend this? And so that's what I want to talk about today. I've been struggling with these kinds of bad habits: overeating, not exercising, and then watching stuff like Netflix way too long, anime, series, or just stuff that you know that you shouldn't really watch just because it drains your energy and you just spend way too much time doing it. I've spent years struggling with these things. And so I know the pain and the frustration where it's way too easy to fall into these habits of just staying inside, overeating, playing video games too much. All these habits just keep on spiking our pleasure in our brain. We just turn into these weird animals that are just like in a cave alone all day. And then you just feel bad about it. And so there is a way to change. And the way that I've changed is by learning habit science. So that's what I want to share with you today is the 5 concepts of habits. But before then, just a little story to drive the point home. I would sometimes spend 8 hours a day, 9, 10 hours a day in high school just playing StarCraft, just playing Super Smash Bros. Alone. And I would always just feel this weird sinking feeling whenever I did it. But it was weird because I would keep on feeling like I just had to do a little bit more. You just have to play one more game. You just have to eat and then come back and do it more and more and more. And it really made me curious because deep down I knew that it's not good for me. I don't really want to be doing it. But I kept on doing it. And the feeling is so strange when it comes to either a video game or binge watching Netflix. Another time I would just come home from work after 8 hours and just watch Game of Thrones for 3 or 4 hours and just eat the whole time. The whole time. Yeah, it felt good. It was entertaining, but I knew that it was not leading me in a good direction. And I knew that after even a couple of weeks of doing it, I wouldn't be in a good place. I would feel bad about myself. I'd be fatter, probably feel bloated, and I wouldn't be working towards my goals. And so that's when I looked into habit science. Great book out there, Atomic Habits by James Clear. A lot of these concepts are from his book, but they're going to be turbocharged today because I'm going to make them super practical for those 3 bad habits that I know a lot of guys are struggling with. So let's just get right into it. The number one thing that you want to understand about changing your habits is the 4 principles of habit formation. Okay? Have you ever wondered why certain habits are so easy to do? They just hook you. It's so easy. But then when it comes to exercising or eating healthy or reading a book, why isn't it as easy? Why do you have to struggle and grind? It seems unfair that life is set up that way, doesn't it? And so if we understand the 4 principles of habit formation, then what we're going to do is we're going to understand how to apply those 4 principles to make your habits easier to do, to make it as easy as watching Netflix to do the habits that you want to do. And I can honestly say, I didn't always like exercise, but now I do it because I want to. I do it because I crave it. And same thing with eating healthy. I do it because I crave it, because my system knows that it's good for me. My system knows I'm just going to feel supercharged after I do it. And so this helps teach the system that you want it. Okay? This is the secret to make it effortless. You know, everything in fitness tends to be a grind, tends to be a drag. It shouldn't be that way. You know, it should be such that it's easy for you. You want to do it. It shouldn't be a grind. It shouldn't be like you're trying to tug this donkey on a rope using willpower and he's fighting you. That's what most people are doing. They're trying to fight with willpower. They're trying to fight their subconscious mind and their cravings and their habits with willpower. But that's just not smart. That's not the way to do it. There's an easier way to do it to make it so that the donkey leads you and you get on the donkey and you're using the donkey. You put your luggage on the donkey. Okay? So your donkey represents your subconscious mind. And not just the subconscious mind, but everything in your system, the way that you're programmed. So that's how we're approaching it, to make it effortless, to make it work for you so that your body just transforms because you change your mind, you change your whole system. So now you crave different things and it makes weight loss easy, it makes having high energy easy, it makes healing your body easy, and it makes behaving the way that you want to behave easy. You can use this for even psychological habits, okay? So the first thing that you want to know about habits is you have to notice the trigger. We call it the cue, okay? So let's take a bad habit because they're easy to understand, and then we'll apply it to the good habit. So the cue for overeating is just looking at food, right? It's just being hungry. So that's what a trigger is. You just remember that you should do it, and then you want to do it, okay? So why is that hard with reading? Why is that hard with, let's take it one at a time. Let's say, why is that hard with exercising? Well, maybe it's because you don't have a cue. Maybe if you had a cue that reminds you, hey, I exercise, then it would be easier to remember, oh, today's Monday. I exercise on Monday. So maybe that would look like having a calendar that shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday, what you do. Weights, 1 hour. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, walking, biking, skating, rock climbing, whatever it is. That would cue you. Or you could put an alarm. But you know what? I just realized we're kind of jumping the gun because we didn't talk about the power of changing your subconscious mind so that you identify with actually being the person who does these good habits. That's really the first thing. So rewind just for a second. Before we start talking about the science of habit formation and being logical about it and strategic about it, kind of like a battle plan, making a battle plan, like Risk, that's why I released the video before this about using the Silva habit replacement meditation so that you can actually start ingraining the desire to do these new behaviors into yourself. You see, that's the game changer. So you have to watch that video if you really want to have lasting, permanent change that makes you want to do these things. And it also lets you uninstall the bad habits. See, that's why it's called a replacement meditation technique, because you're replacing a bad habit with a good one. And it's going to feel good. You're not going to have cravings. You're not going to have withdrawals. You're going to enjoy the process. It's using meditation to tap deep into your brain to convince yourself and change your beliefs and change your expectations and your identity regarding what behaviors you do and what behaviors you don't do. So if you haven't watched that, click right here, watch that video. That's life transforming. That is my number one weapon when it comes to changing your habits and changing how you feel about it. So that's not just temporary, it's permanent. You change who you are, all right? So that's vital. Nobody in fitness is talking about this. Everyone's just telling you to do their diet. It's temporary, it's barbaric, it's old school, it doesn't work. That's why everybody goes on the diets and then they recede. They lose all their progress, okay? So the new age, the new millennium is coming where we understand how to change our subconscious mind so that we do it easily, all right? Back to cues. So we have to understand how to cue ourselves. So make it obvious is what you want to think. Make it obvious. When it's obvious, you're going to remember to do it. Now, don't underestimate this. This could be as simple as putting away all of the junk food that you have that's outside in your kitchen tempting you, okay? So when you have a bad habit that you want to stop doing, you make it unobvious. So that can mean you take it out of your environment. You make it so that you don't get triggered, you don't get cued. You have to hide it, okay? Take away the cue, okay? So for sake of time, I want to move on, but think about this. Because if you take away the trigger, a lot of the time you don't even get the temptation, okay? Sometimes when it's really deeply ingrained, the cue and the trigger is right here. But a lot of the time your environment cues you, okay? So if you want to start making a good habit, you gotta make it obvious. Give yourself as many reminders and make it obvious to yourself to remember, okay? Number two is craving. So it's desirable, all right? This is obvious. When you want to overeat, when you want to watch something online, it gives you a craving. You want to see what happens. You want to see that pretty girl. You want to eat that donut. You want to do these things. There's a craving. So we have to make our good habits that we're installing actually desirable. Now, how in the world do you do that? That's a little bit trickier when it comes to eating healthy, exercising, or reading, right? So this is where the meditation comes in. This is where you actually have to flesh this out and teach yourself why you should crave it. You have to install a new program into your brain that will remind you, oh my gosh, this is the gateway to heaven. And you have to be able to feel that, okay? And you have to use your logical, strategic mind to actually convince yourself. So why would I crave eating a meal this big versus this big? Well, the first thing is that I'll be able to eat every 2 hours if I eat a meal this big. The second thing is I have to ingrain it into my mind that it makes me sharper, stronger, more attractive, sharper, stronger, more attractive, better IQ, faster thinking, more accomplishment. This is helping me build the life that I want. And all I have to do is eat more often. You know, it's not a downgrade, right? If you think about it as a downgrade, it's not going to trigger that desire, okay? It has to be desirable. That's what we're talking about in number two, is make it desirable. You can also just say craving, okay? You have to give yourself a craving, okay? So what would that look like for exercise? So to make it desirable or give yourself a craving, maybe it could be you love what you're gonna do. What if you actually did something that you liked to do, like rock climbing, like skiing, like biking, like taking out the skateboard, like kickboxing, like BJJ, like karate? What if in your mind it was actually cool? It was actually fun. It was actually epic, like you're training at a dojo. What if it wasn't just a chore? Like you just feel like you have to do this thing for an hour and you're just thinking, oh, I hate it, I hate it. You're not gonna crave it. What if it was dancing? What if it was getting your Zumba on? What if it was dancing with a beautiful woman? What if it was bodybuilding? What if you could build into your mind a craving so that you know while you're doing it, you're getting high, baby. That's why runners is so easy. They get a craving. They're just sitting there, they're looking at their watch and they're thinking, when do I get to get out there? And they're imagining and they're feeling the sunlight. They're imagining running through the forest and they're just getting high. They are getting high out of their mind. All of the endorphins in their brain. I know that feeling. You're listening to the best music. You're having images of grandiosity. You feel like you're running through heaven. You feel like you're a superhero. You're on steroids. When you have this craving, you feel like you're on steroids. You feel like you're unstoppable. You feel invincible. Okay? So you can feel like this doing anything. It just has to be epic to you. It can be rock climbing. It can be weightlifting, bodybuilding, rollerblading with the right music. Put on some Tony Hawk Pro Skater and go out there and rollerblade, man. Crave it. Okay, so that's the ideal. But it can be as simple as working out with a trainer that you like. It can be as simple as getting in an ambiance that you enjoy, getting a good playlist together, right? You don't have to go super duper epic. Just make it pleasant, okay? And this feeds into number 3, is you've made it obvious, you've made it desirable, you have to make it easy. I'm just gonna write easy because in the moment when you're thinking about doing it, if it's this mountain, this huge thing that you have to do, oh, I don't know if I want to read for an hour. I don't know if I want to exercise for an hour and a half and puke my guts out like CrossFit encourages. I don't know if I feel down for that today. I don't know if I want to eat this like stinking pile of beans without any spices or oils or avocado or anything delicious. That's just too hard. And you don't do it because it's too hard. The startup cost is too hard. You don't have enough momentum. So it might be that you're setting the bar too high to start. So if you're making it difficult, that could look like I gotta get into the car and drive 20 minutes to the gym. What if it was, all right, well, what if I do 100 squats? What if I just do 10 squats? What if I do 5 squats here, right now? I don't have to put on my shoes. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to go and be around those people at the gym that I don't want to see. No. What if it was, I'm going to do 1 push-up and 1 squat? Could you do it? You could do it. The thing is, we're going to talk about this in the next principle, is that you underestimate the 1% rule. You underestimate small starts. You underestimate momentum. And so you think it's not going to do anything if you read 1 sentence and close the book. It's not true though, because if you start building momentum, if you start ingraining a habit, you'll just see how it changes in your brain. Your perception of it changes because it's about progress. It's about progress, not starting out great. No. If you start out reading 1 sentence in a book, all you have to do to make progress is read 1 sentence and a half next time. And boom, your brain gets that hit of progress. I made progress. All you gotta do is 1 push-up. Next time, all you gotta do is 2. And you made progress. You doubled your workout. Oh, hallelujah. Then your brain starts feeling like, oh, I'm making progress. You start getting this encouragement. You start getting this winner effect. So guess what number 4 is? Reward. Okay? Has to be rewarding. That's why all these bad habits get you so easily. It rewards you instantly with pleasure. It rewards you instantly with the dopamine in your brain. And if you're not exercising, what does that do? It rewards you instantly with the comfort of sitting on your butt and having fun playing your video game or watching your anime. That's the reward. You get the easy way off the hook. So if you're going to make yourself do something that requires a little bit more effort, attention, energy, or sometimes even getting out of your comfort zone, you have to have it rewarding, okay? So how do you do that? How do you make it rewarding? Because sometimes this is like a project. Sometimes this is like a mystery. You're solving a little mystery here because it's not inherently rewarding to just read 1 sentence. Sometimes you feel like you're not making progress. What did that do? You know, sometimes I upload videos, they don't get really as many views as I want, and I just think, well, what's the reward? I'm not as motivated. How do I use this principle to get me motivated? How do I make it rewarding? Sometimes it's mental, sometimes you can physically reward yourself. But the best way to do it is to mentally train yourself and to have a mantra and to have a reminder, which is why the meditation, the habit replacement meditation that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you have to check it out because it ingrains that program that you can pull out anytime you want. You pull it back out and you remember and you have that feeling of, oh wow, maybe I laid a couple bricks today and maybe the wall for the castle isn't done, but it gives you that feeling, I'm not just laying a couple bricks today, I'm building a castle. I'm building a temple. You have to have that perspective. That is the reward, you know? There's that story where there's 3 different men laying bricks and they all have different attitudes. And one's just moping and one's kind of just like unmotivated, just laying bricks. And the other is just this happy, energetic, positive man. And the boss talks to each of the brick layers. And he said to the man who's moping and not really working, hey, what's the matter? And he's like, how can you expect me to just lay bricks? This is mundane. I'm far above this. I'm just laying bricks. This is a shame for a man to do. Manual labor? And so that guy gets fired. Then he goes up to the guy who's just doing it, you know, headphones in, just not really caring, just being like a gorilla. And he says, "Hey, tell me about your job." And he's like, "What's there to tell about it? I just do the bricks and I get the money. That's it. I'm just living life. A man has to work." And he wasn't really doing that good of a job, so he got fired. Then he went up to the man who was laying the most bricks out of all of them, encouraging other people to lay bricks. And he said, "Hey, can you tell me about how you see your job?" And the guy says, to me, this isn't a job. This is a mission. We're building a temple here. This is going to endure for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands. The well-being of society is being determined by this temple. You see, because this impacts people here. And without this, no society can stand. That's why I love what I do. That guy was made the boss, and that guy became the boss, and that guy became tremendously rich because he was doing the same things as everybody else, but he had that internal reward because he had the perspective. He had a different program. He saw his little behaviors differently, and he constantly reminded himself, every single brick, I'm building a temple, I'm building a temple, I'm building a temple. And you can tell yourself that. I want you to tell yourself that every single time you do a little workout, you're building a temple. This matters. This matters. This matters. Every meditation you do matters. Every healthy food you eat matters. Every exercise you do matters. Every act of will that you put towards growing, it matters. You might think like it doesn't count. Everything counts. Everything is accounted for. Your body and your mind, it all remembers every thought, every action, every transaction. And it's written all over your body, your face, your voice. It's written in your bank account. It's written in your DNA. It's what makes you you. How else could it be? And so you're constantly building a temple. That's the mindset that we install with the Silva habit replacement meditation. That is the key. You're changing your mind. And as you change your mind and your perception of all these things, everything will change. And so there's other easier ways besides mentally to make it rewarding. So how do I make it rewarding when I eat a smaller meal? Okay, well, part of the reward is that I feel like I can speak, I can work, I'm sharper, I laugh more, I don't feel weighed down, so I remind myself, hey, I got that. I also remind myself, hey, another meal's coming. That's pretty rewarding. I also remind myself, hey, I'm healthier. I get a holy basil tea with honey shortly after this. That's rewarding. And so you can really reward yourself in many, many different ways. You could even start cueing with like a gummy multivitamin whenever you do something that you want to reward yourself with. You can train yourself pretty much like a dog, where initially for the first 21 days, you literally give yourself that little reward, that little taste of a reward. And that's pleasant. And you only get to eat that as a reward when you do that one behavior. So I used to get distracted and want to watch anime before I got my work done. And that would be a problem because one episode would turn into 2, into 3, and then I'd be eating all this yogurt with honey and cinnamon, and it would just be a mess. And then it would throw me off, and my work would feel unfocused because my brain is now in pleasure mode instead of focus mode. So I said, I want to change this habit. I want to make it so that at the end of the day, after I do all my work, the Dragon Ball Z with the yogurt and the honey, that's my reward. And so I made my habit of working on my videos, of getting my lessons done, of reading, of studying, of getting my certificate done, rewarding by saving the Dragon Ball Z and the yogurt as my reward. And it works. I'm telling you, it works. You just flip this stuff around a little bit, you'll be surprised how easily you can change your behavior and how easily you can change how you feel about things. Now, I crave doing my work because I know the reward is coming. It's like when you go and work out, you have that one food item that you get to eat after. That protein shake, man. That cocoa, honey, protein shake, that banana. Oh, man. And if you don't eat whey protein, there's a way to make a bone broth, chocolate, honey, protein shake. You can have that yogurt with the honey. I recommend you have a post-workout meal that you don't eat any other time, only after you work out, because that triggers, oh man, I only get to eat this after I work out. And you look forward to it. I'm telling you, that strawberry whey protein shake, not that I really recommend whey, but there are some good brands out there. I'll have to make another video about that. That would just be such a heavenly tonic. It would taste better than Nesquik. It would be just amazing. It's like after that long day of running or at the beach, and you just have that watermelon drink. Oh my goodness. So easy ways to make things rewarded. All right? So those are the 4. I want to give you a bonus, number 5, but just want to summarize before we land this plane. Habit science, the laws of forming or deconstructing habits. Number 1, make it obvious. That's the cue. Or make it unobvious. Number 2, make it desirable. You have to crave it. Number 3, make it easy and build on that. Number 4, make it rewarding. Okay? So the bonus is going to be a twofer. We already talked about the compounding effect of 1% improvements. Remember this. If you just focus on improving your system over the weeks, the months, the years, you don't have to worry about results. Don't worry about the scale or how good you look or how much you're lifting or how much money you're making. Just improve the system. If you're improving the system for how you train and for how you go about doing the habits will eventually bring you success. Okay? So just keep on analyzing your system. So if you're trying to lose weight, you don't have to micromanage your calories. You don't have to go on these weird low-carb diets, keto. It's so twisted, it's so unnatural, the diets that people do. Just keep on managing your system. Keep on looking at, okay, well, how can I eat a little bit healthier? What can I replace with today? Or did I overeat today? Did I feel like I emotionally ate today? And if so, how do I fix that? You take these 4 principles and start applying it to every single avenue that has to do with your endeavor. Okay? So if you want to lose weight, you're thinking about a lot of different habits to influence with this habit science. You're thinking about quality of food, quantity of food. You're thinking about your quality of sleep. You're thinking about your gut health. If you're nurturing the right microbiome to create the right hormones. You're thinking about your emotional health and your stress. Are you stressing yourself out? Is that stress taking away your testosterone? Is that stress taking away your energy, your vitality? Because all this goes into your metabolism, your thyroid, your testosterone levels, all these things that determine how your brain and body function, right? Your metabolism, your inner economy. And that's really what makes fitness and health easy and effortless, or confusing, a grind, and just one failure after another. Is understanding the depths of each part of you. Each part of your brain, your emotions, your body, every single system, how it works together, your hormones, your emotions, your self-image, the placebo effect, how you eat, how you exercise, how you sleep, your exposure to nature. All of these things, your relationships, all of these things affect your physical health. Of course they do. How could it not? Of course it does. So you just get the things, in line the way that you want them to be. Just work on the system, I'm telling you. Work on yourself as a system, as an ecosystem, and everything starts getting healthier. It's like a forest, okay? Don't just focus on one thing. Start changing your habits 1% better, and celebrate. Celebrate the 1% increase, that 1% increase, especially if you can maintain it. You take 100 steps on your walk, you walk home, man, you celebrate it. Why? Well, what do you think? It seems like 100 steps doesn't really do anything. How many calories did you burn? Half? Half of 1 calorie? It's not about that. It's about you building a new habit and 1% increase and changing your perception of it as you make progress. Remember, don't ever underestimate the 1% increase and the dopamine you get from making progress. Doesn't matter if you start out at level 2 as a ratata, because you can keep on growing. And as you grow, you start learning new moves, you start growing, you start evolving. Oh, opportunities and doors open, you start changing. Oh, it's just about progress, okay? Celebrate every day little wins, even maintenance. Keep on thinking about the 1%. Keep on working on the systems. And the bonus is ACCT. Any guesses? BLTY. Accountability. That's another way to make things more rewarding or unrewarding. So you're trying to break a bad habit, you have to make it unrewarding if you do it, which means you tell your accountability, you write it down, you get accountability. This is why having a fitness buddy, it works. If you miss a workout, he will be on your butt. And that's how he should be. And that's why skipping the gym becomes more painful than going to the gym, because you had accountability. So you have to have a system, you have to have a coach, you have to have a team. That's what Project New Man is. That's why we have coaching, because sometimes it's worth it to get a team. Listen, sometimes it's just worth it. How much more time are you going to waste not having accountability? You just keep on doing the same life-destroying bad habit again and again and again, and you lie to yourself and you say, well, I'm not going to do it next time. You're lying to yourself. If you don't know how to implement these 5 principles, if you don't have accountability, some of these hard habits to kick are going to kick you again and again and again while you're down, just kicking you, kicking the life out of you, wasting your time, wasting your energy, wasting your life away, decreasing your self-esteem, wasting your money, taking away your opportunity cost. You know, some of these bad habits are such devils that they take away so much of your self-esteem, so much of your energy, that if you could reclaim that, the opportunity cost and what you can get, reclaiming all that time, energy, and self-worth, that self-esteem, that would translate into life, period. That would translate into business success, social success, more productivity, better brain power, better physiology, better body, better health. Energy is everything. Time is everything. Self-esteem is everything. So if you improve those things, you get life in abundance, period. You start building these ridiculous ladders of success that feed each other. You start stacking these good habits together, and you start just improving your life into this upward spiral instead of this downward, miserable spiral. You have to break that, okay? So accountability. You have to report your wins. You have to report your losses. You have to record them. You have to have accountability. You have to have a tribe. You have to depend on somebody. Somebody has to depend on you. You cannot do a lot of this alone. You're not meant to. And that's why you're failing a lot of the time. That's why you're miserable. That's why you feel like you can't break free. This is profoundly powerful. Especially it depends on who it is. Who is your accountability? Is your accountability really like this stump, this rock, this mountain? Or is your accountability just this guy who's like, oh, well, I totally understand. I didn't really want to go either. You know, it's don't be too hard on yourself. You know, I'm not saying get an asshole who's going to make you feel bad. But sometimes you need that person that won't bend and just let you off the hook so easily. Because this is your life. Someone who believes in you and just knows you're made for something great, okay? And they just think that. And just the idea that you have to tell this person who believes in you, their belief in you will actually make you rise to the occasion. Listen, this is very interesting. This is something that people don't really think about. You have that person that really believes in you, even if you just have a little bit of belief in yourself. Do you know how much that will skyrocket your belief? That person who really knows and inspires inside you the lion, really believes that you're made for greatness, you will start believing it. You must start believing it. Their belief will infect you, and their belief will rise you up, and their belief will keep you from going to these devil's habits. So get someone like that who will believe in you, who will call you to a higher purpose, and will inspire you here, will inspire you that you won't let down. For me, that was coaches in my life. That was sports coaches. For me, that was the women in my life. For me, that was the friends. I would think about my friends. I would think about this mission. For me, I think about you. For me, I think about all the people who are like me. And I won't let you guys down. You have to have that. If you have that, you have a superpower. You have a superpower because that's coming from here. And when you have that, that's motivation. That will drive you through the temptations. Okay? So all of these are very powerful. Implement all of them. If you miss one of them, it might make it much harder than it should be. We also talked about, sidebar, 1% wins and the power of them. We talked a little bit about habit stacks, where all you gotta do is put a lot of these habits together, one after another. You build momentum, you build energy, and it makes the next habit easier and easier and easier to do because it's all about energy. It's all about motivation. It's all about momentum. So you start stacking these things together starting in the morning. That's why it's so important. Morning routine. It's not just a cliche. Morning routine means you're building your energy, and the more energy you build, the more likely you are to do the next good habit that builds your energy even more. Versus you start off bad, more likely to just think another negative thought, all of a sudden your behavior and your actions and your words are a little bit negative, and then people are responding to you negative, and you're having a bad day, okay? Momentum, habit stacks. So start stacking all your habits together in a line, a beautiful line throughout your entire day. Whenever you feel low energy, have a habit stack that you can do. Whether that's drinking some adaptogens, going on a walk, doing a 5-minute meditation, doing some affirmations, looking at inspirational figures on your dream board, looking at your phone wallpaper, listening to good music, doing NLP, positive affirmations, every day in every way. I'm getting better and better and better. Calling a friend on the phone. If you can't do that, open the Bible, read an inspirational book. Have a habit stack that you can go to no matter what's happening during your day. Be self-sufficient. Have habit stacks that you can do on your own even if no one's there for you. Be self-sufficient. Be independent. Be strong. But also have people that you can go to. Have a counselor. Have the church group. Have the best friends. Have the tribe. Have the workout buddies. Have the mental health counselor. Get all these supports into your life. Habit stack these together. You'll find something will boost you, and then you'll feel, I have the energy to do another good habit. Notice that. Start stacking them together. Watch my video on the morning routine. Watch my video on habit stacks. These will change your life. Without further ado, guys, that is how you change your habits. That's how you change your bad habits. That's how you form good habits. That's the science of it, to make it effortless, to make it permanent, so that you don't just keep on failing. You don't want to build a reputation of failing with yourself. You don't want to build these disappointments, because those make you doubt you. Those make you doubt and be cynical of the world. Those make you form an identity of what you think you can or can't do. So start building little wins. This is how you dig yourself out of that identity of everything I try doesn't work. It's just a waste of time. Everything's a scam. No. Don't believe those lies. That's the loser talking. That is the loser talking. That's the gremlin talking. That's the devil talking. There's always a way to move forward. You can always find a way. And if there's not a way that you can find, you can always make a way. Okay? So start using these to empower yourself. Use all of them. Get the accountability. Keep on learning this kind of stuff, and have fun with it. Be nice. Celebrate. Work on your systems. Get those 1% wins. Just start small and start building progress. It's all just about growth, okay? Experience, growth, contribution, okay? So if this has been helpful for you, please like the video. And if you want to keep on making amazing progress in your body through your mind, that will impact your entire life, your confidence, your energy, the way your brain works, the self-mastery that you have, then subscribe. And also check out my playlist for the 42-day masterclass. It's free in the description below, because I lay out a 6-week program that every single day you have a short video and an exercise to do. And what it's going to do is help you achieve your health goals, your weight loss, your energy, and to change your habits. To actually start building you into a new person. Body completely changed, effortlessly. It shouldn't be a grind. All this is supposed to be effortless. Your mind, your IQ, the way that your mind works, is it fast, is it slow? Completely changed, effortlessly. Your inner confidence to create change, to manifest the reality that you want, completely changed. I've been studying this stuff for over 15 years. This is the best of the best of the best. I've gone to India to learn about these mind-body techniques, these manifestation techniques, these mind control techniques. I've been obsessed with it. And I put everything into this class just to provide change, because I know the pain of being in a place where you don't know what's going on with your body. You don't know what's going on with your mind. You don't have control over your habits. You're out of control. And I hated that feeling so much pain, so much confusion, so much suffering, that I had to figure out how to get out of it. And this is everything that I learned. I'm giving you the best of the best, because quite honestly, I just care. I don't want anybody to have to go through all of that pain of being a slave to the bad habits, and then you get sick, and then you get mentally isolated, and then your mind gets sick, and then you're stuck in this downward spiral. None of that. Not on my watch. No more. Project Newman, join the revolution, transforming the body through the mind and finding true success. It all begins here with you. I'll see you in the next video.